Nothing quite screams the 80s like the Thundercats. Back in the 80s and the 90s, there were a multitude of action cartoons, most of them pretty bad and cliche, and didn't last for more than 2 seasons. The Thundercats, however, ran from 1985 to 1989. Not to mention a made-for-TV movie known as Thundercats Ho! The Thundercats were brought back in 1997 on Cartoon Network's new action animation afternoon block, which you might remember as Toonami, until eventually it was removed in 2002. So what was it about this show that made it so popular? I mean, it still is, stood the test of time. The rock band Relient K has even written a song about it called I'm Lion-O. Not to mention the multiple references in Family Guy.
Eye of Thundera, give me sight beyond sight. Lion-O, what are you doing? Snarf! Oh, hey, not much. You want to get wasted or something?
So let's take a look at what made the show so great. So the plot of the Thundercats cartoon is that these group of cat-like humanoid aliens from the planet Thundera, and these mutants from the planet Plundar come and are in search of their main source of power called the Eye of Thundera. And in the process, these mutants destroy their planet, while a few of them are able to escape. So that's where the show picks up. The people who escape from the planet of Thundera go to this, what is called the Third Earth, and it just sets the tone for some good action, some good story. The Thundercats fight the mutants, who also enlist the help of a powerful magician, Mum-Ra. Now, like any group of good superheroes or crime fighters, you gotta have an awesome leader. So let's take a look at some other cartoons and their leaders. So let's see here. From G.I. Joe, you got General Hawk, you got Superman from the Justice League, Leonardo from the Ninja Turtles, Keith from Voltron, Optimus Prime from Transformers. I mean, I could go on and on here. Then you might take one look at Lion-O and say, there's nothing special about him. He doesn't really have any special powers. But the one thing that makes him probably the most overpowered cartoon action hero of all time is the Sword of Omens. Let's take a look at its powers. So for starters, the Sword of Omens kind of starts off as a short sword, and upon command, Lion-O can extend it in length. Secondly, he's got the Eye of Thundera etched in his sword. So not only does it have ridiculous amounts of power in it, it can give him what he likes to say, sight beyond sight. He can pretty much see anything, anytime he wants to. And lastly, if he ever loses the sword, like let's say an enemy were to like disarm him, or he drops it or it falls down, he can like call it back and it'll go back into his hand. So let's do a quick comparison of Lion-O to the other superheroes I named earlier. You got Leonardo from Ninja Turtles. Probably getting a decent sword fight, but Lion-O would end up winning. You got General Hawk from G.I. Joe. He's going down fast. He doesn't really have any skills above and beyond his guns. Then you got Superman. He'll fly around for a little bit, but I think in the end, Lion-O's going to get him. Optimus Prime. That would probably be a good fight. Big giant robot against a guy with a ridiculous sword. And I think Keith, one-on-one without the lion, would have no chance, but with the lion, might be able to beat Lion-O. So I think out of all the action cartoons I named, he might be the most overpowered and the best ever. And I guess that kind of makes sense why Relient K decided to make a song out of him, because he's just so ridiculous. While I'm on the subject of Lion-O, I really got to address the names of the characters in the show. Now, the Thundercats is a great cartoon, and I hate to rip it, but they must have just been asleep at the wheel when they were naming the characters. I mean, Lion-O, Panthro, Chitara, Tigra. I mean, come on. There's like zero creativity. I mean, why not just think of something more original? Even the bad guys are named weird. I mean, Mum-Ra, all it is mummy, and they take the Y away, and they add an R-A. It's ridiculous. Now I hate to have to say anything bad about the Thundercats, but I mean seriously, they really need to get a little bit more creative with the names of those characters. But really in the long run, I guess it doesn't really matter because the names are so memorable. I mean, I didn't even have to research any of those characters, I just knew them right off the top of my head. And you know, if you couldn't get enough of Thundercats, or you just never experienced them in the first place, they're on DVD now, you should go pick them up. And for you hardcore fans out there, there's a movie in the works. Now I know IMDb is a pretty reliable source, and so I checked on there. Not to mention, I read an interview about the director of the movie, who was the art director for Gears of War. And I think that's an interesting spin they're going to do on film.
to incorporate people from the video game industry into the film industry. I mean, video games are getting so technical and the stories are getting so deep and so rich. I think that they really need to give those kind of people a chance in some big Hollywood productions. So it's going to be really exciting to see how this is going to work out. But yeah, anyway, thanks for watching the video. Like I said, hopefully I'll be able to get some more out in the next couple weeks now that I'm done with school. Yeah. So, see y'all later.